usual self. Problems for the defending champion.
Workout. All 4 tires up off the ground. Great job by these 5-star bodies with the roof flaps deploying.
All 4 wheels. One more look at it.
See, Michael's right against the double yellow line, but this second or third bump is going to get him out of shape.
He's going to slide up, and that's all it takes.
Very fortunate that car stayed on the ground, but a lot of damage to that Sinclair car.
Let's take a look from the 18 car, Riley Herbst.
He's right behind the 54 of Natalie Decker. Just barely backed out of the throttle there. That family.
Yeah, we got a big wreck off of
big wreck.
That's Eric Caudell. A team that had an unbelievable amount of work getting that 2-car put together. Eric crossing over 18 states in 10 days. The team had that car in 4 or 5 states in the days leading up. And now they've got a damaged race car that they'll put back on a hauler.
Was this a situation when he was trying to come to pit road? Did he make contact with another car or maybe just get on the brakes? These guys don't really touch the brake that much, especially if you're running out in front of a pack. You get over here coming off turn 4 and find out, because you haven't had the brakes warmed up, that you have an issue.
Yeah,
this is going to be contact.
There you go.
That's going to be. I think
just
being
got
run over. Yeah.
Oh, and that is a heavy, heavy impact.
Yeah. No fault of his own, but just it's hard to see. You wave off, you try and do everything you can, but people really got to pay attention. It's just hard. I mean, that was a hard hit.
Best news you can see right here.
Hit road.
Caudell crawling out under his own power. He is okay.
Thinking when they didn't have to make green flag stops.
22 out of shape. That's Connor Hall out of Hampton, Virginia, who did a good job controlling that car.
At right where, look at
the big time
Pack.
damage. Yep, that's J.J. Pack out of Haymarket, Virginia.
Also the 29, Derek Lancaster with a lot of damage as well. I wonder if that right rear tire went down on that 22. I was watching it.
What could have caused some of that? What a save!
Because he was doing a great job riding around the top 5. Marlowe Yachts on board.
One of the 13 drivers in the field making their first race here at Daytona in the ARCA division. That 61 car is tore up. Second race here at Daytona back in 2015, had an oil line come off, finished 36. Damage on the 36 car. That's Paul Williamson, his first ARCA race. So North Carolina native has stopped in need of assistance.
I wonder if all this was the aftermath after the 22 got out of shape, Connor Hall.
You see a slide like that, it's hard for everybody else to stay calm and not run into each other as well.
22 on the inside of the 28. Let's see if we can figure out what happened to the Marlowe Yachts machine.
I'm thinking that right rear tire, you see the sparks
it happened quick, yep.
I think that right rear tire went down on that car. You see the left rear tire is up. Looks like the right rear is already down, isn't it?
The letters are gone. He was already going for a ride at that point. It looks like there's a little damage on the right rear quarter, like he might have gotten into somebody a little bit earlier, or someone might have gotten into him before that.
How about the job Grant Quinlan does in that 30 car to avoid him, as well as Gustine in the 32. Let's see if the aftermath, we see what, they're going to bunch up over there. J.J. Pack moves to the outside and gets turned into the outside wall by Derek Lancaster in the 29. Nice job by Leilani Munter getting out of the way, but they just run out of space right here. J.J. Pack was trying to give him room, squeeze the 29 into the outside wall.
Never driven a race car, but I assume that is the tendency. Try to get away from that accident as quickly as you can.
You got to miss him first, right?
Try and be as aware as you can, but yes, you're trying to get up. You see that slide on the bottom, chances are it usually comes back up for a short period of time. So, everybody was being aware. It's just there was a car on the outside, and you run into him, and it just hurt several people. I don't really know what happened to Paul Williamson. We didn't really get to see that.
Look from all of the onboards. Gustine a moment ago. Leilani Munter right there.
Leilani doing a great job avoiding that incident.
That slide, that is unreal to me. I mean, to be able to keep it,
and that's at 180 some miles an hour,
right,
Chris,
and keep it out of all the other traffic and not get hit, not overcorrect. That's the hardest thing to do in that situation. He did a great job. He did a great job of keeping the wheels straight.
Then McReynolds, it's 2.3 seconds back as we've got one turned around. It's Thad Moffitt in the 46.
There was another car or two involved in that incident. Looks like Thad's going to get the worst of it.
that coming off of turn 4. It looks like perhaps the 11 was involved.
Yeah, Jason White possibly involved in the situation.
So a couple of first-time Daytona racers getting together here. It'll change everything now with 9 to go. Let's see if we can figure out what happened. 46 running along by himself, gets a little wiggly.
That looks like a tire.
Looks like maybe a right rear tire. At least
maybe it smells like a tire, right?
Without
a general tire profile.
Right rear tire was down on that car, and the 11 of Jason White came along with nowhere to go, ran into the outside wall trying to avoid him. But another right rear tire issue here for Thad Moffitt.
Just along for the ride at that point.
Yeah.
Did a really good job saving it as long as he did.
And there was Jason just trying to keep from running into Thad and ran into the outside wall. But what a tough break for Thad Moffitt.
Out of shape, they are making headway.
This is going to get interesting. Inside of 2 to go. Hold on. Here we go.
Another situation where the pushing went wrong.
They were being so aggressive, and it was working. It really was. It's just such a fine line. And with these cars, when the bumpers don't match up perfect, they lift. And as soon as it lifts up and you don't give them time to correct it, you just run into bad situation. And that's unfortunate. They were coming, man.
They were coming in a big-time way, but stopped on the backstretch. Brandon McReynolds in the 28, Gus Dean in the 32, Leilani Munter. Does she have a little bit of damage there in that 55 car? What the health driver hanging it up at the end of this one. After an 18-race ARCA career, she dabbled in other motorsports as well.
He gets to race again tomorrow night at New Smyrna in the K&N East Series.
Let's see what came first. Well, a lot of things happened
it was
at
just
the exact right time.
Just bumping. Todd Gilliland's trying to help Brandon McReynolds. He wasn't trying to turn him around. He was trying to help him. And unfortunately, Brett Holmes, who did an outstanding job running in the 3rd position all day long, and he ends up getting taken out as well.
There's what we were talking about. Getting close. I'm not saying locking bumpers, but I'm saying a little shoving going on.
You can see a gap just a little bit and come back and get that impact. Well, it's also hard because when you do that, it also creates that moment where it lifts the back tires off the ground a little bit.
Gilliland able to get through this, by the way, now being scored in the 3rd spot.
Yeah, Natalie Decker also. Grant Quinlan getting by.
Sean Core.
Hard contact there between the 32 of Gus Dean and the 28 of Brandon. See the 32 on the outside. He might have got a little bit of a bump as well. And then he made contact with the 28. He had already gotten to the outside wall after a little bit of contact as they were trying to avoid that incident.
Gus Dean carrying our general tire on board. You ride along with him.
That's the driver's view, though, right there. You were sitting the back of a spoiler. You have no clue anything's going on until you hear it on the radio. By the time they can communicate that and tell you need to be checking up, a lot of times it is too late. You're already wrecking or you're already running in the back of somebody. So, yeah, not much different you can do in those situations.
On board the What the Health onboard camera, Leilani Munter.
She sees the smoke.
Did an excellent job getting through it.
I think she might have had a little bit of contact. Looked like the 52 of Tyler Dipple was the closest car to her. They made a little bit of contact after they got through the incident.
I believe it might have cut a tire down. It sounded like she had a tire hitting the crush panels in there as well.